Patient. Patient.
When I think of Jeremy, I think of a leader.
To be quiet.
Funny guy.
He's really fun to talk to and really easy.
He is very dependable.
Soft-spoken.
For me, a leader. Yeah, 'cause he's the leader of our group. So, yeah.
Like a good leader also.
I was thinking about like a quiet leadership.
And he always points out safeguards for us to follow.
Really smart.
I know he's always like willing to help too, right? If you have any questions or anything.
I think I admire Jeremy's faithfulness. The way he prepares for the live class every Sunday.
There are many times when a phrase that Jeremy said in life class or a principle that he taught on that I just randomly remember in a day.
Very athletic. I've seen him jump real high and flip over in midair. Also, he's proficient in Hapkido, the Korean martial art.
Because like every time we have like an activities and stuff, he really did gives instruction pretty well and lead us all the guys. The guys is pretty like hard to manage and stuff, but he's still able to do alongside with Mrs. Hannah.
Especially when it comes to us guys, we're the rambunctious group. We want to do a bunch of stuff, and Jeremy knows that. He understands that we want to let loose and get a bit crazy, and he understands, we're adults. He treats us like adults, not like teenagers. He knows that we need some room to grow. But at the same time, he's not shy to say, hey, that's a bit overboard. Why don't you compromise a bit, do this instead.
He's staunch, and he doesn't. He's not wishy-washy, so he's somebody that we can look to for guidance and support in times that we need it.
When we go out and do activities and such, it's the same thing as well. Make sure that we're following rules, not in a way to restrict us, but as in a way for us to as well keep the testimony of young Christian men that we're being Christ-like, even though we're having fun being a bit too loud or being a bit too rambunctious. He knows that our testimony is important as well as to the fellowship one another.
A good listener.
Someone who cares.
She's a planner.
Very outgoing.
I always see her like an older sister.
Alive.
She's really sweet.
Fun. Yeah, she's fun. She makes things fun.
She's very chill. That's all I can think of. She's someone who's easy to talk to, non-judgmental, like what Gleesel said. You can share things to her, and she really cares, really. And something that sometimes she will be like, "Oh, what's going on with your life?" She will ask us, "How's it going? What's new?" All those stuff.
Yeah, there was that time when I got stung by a wasp. It was a fun experience. We went paintballing. I hid behind this tree stump with a little girl. Both got hit by a bunch of wasps. And the little girl cried, but I didn't. Cried like the little girl. But yeah, Miss Hannah was very concerned for me. Drove me to the nearest Safeway. We checked out the pharmacy. She was willing to really make sure that we're okay. Make sure that not just health-wise as well, that we're doing fine.
The cowgirl.
Why?
Well, because when I customized her Mii in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I felt like the Western attire looks good on her Mii fighter. At least the Mii gunner in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So cowgirl, so you think strong and independent? Is that what you're thinking, bro?
I was thinking Maverick.
Nice. When I think of Hannah, I think of boldness. I think I just take her as an example to not be afraid to speak up when you need to. I always remember her telling us the story of how she loves going to the counter and confronting the cashier about the order. Like she has to make it right and returning the order and all that. So I think for me that's just an example that you don't have to be afraid of speaking up.
She works well under pressure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Got that can do, you either do this or you're gone kind of attitude.
Yeah, and she goes all in. Like, she puts her everything. When she thinks of something, she puts all into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hannah can be a bit scary. I mean, she's good. Like, I know she cares about us.
Yeah.
I remember when we started life class, she's always there guiding me because at that time I'm very shy. I don't really connect to a lot of my life class girls, and she has always been there too. She even came to my house. She wanted to connect, and it just goes to show that she is a person that she wants to try to make an effort for other people, to connect to them, to give her attention to me and talk about the Lord. And she even wanted to have tea with me, and I never had that experience with anyone her age. And I never had an older sister too. So, and she's giving me all this life advices, and I really appreciate her for that, because that was the thing that I needed the most at that time before, for an older sister just like Hannah, and for her to be giving me Christ-like advices, not just any advices, right? And she's always there guiding me, correcting me. I appreciate that, because no one else will do that sometimes, you know.
And she always looks for a way to connect with you. If she sees that you are going through a situation, she always finds a way to get you to open up to her, and she always finds a way to help you.
To me, Hannah, she's a very, very thoughtful person, and she's very caring. I really didn't expect her to actually, like, she would really take that step to get to know you more. And for example, like in each step, each journey that I had with every milestone that I had in my life, she was always there. Like before I got married, she went to my house personally, she prayed for me. And I did remember when I came back here after my wedding, she really took some time to take me out and talk about, my wedding and stuff, and then prayed for me, of course. And that you don't see that a lot with a lot of people nowadays, those people who really takes time to be with you, to listen and to pray for you. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, for me, so blessed to know Hannah.
What I appreciate from both of them is that they're very thorough. They're willing to go all out. So I have lots of fun memories in life class activities where when they plan things, they really think it through. Like, I really appreciate both of them. They have a list. Especially as a person who's very indecisive, I always don't know what I'm doing. They always have suggestions. They always have, okay, well, we can do this or we can do that. They're willing to add stuff to it, and they always do the research, and I look up to that.
Their genuineness. So as leaders in the life class, they do not pretend to be something else than what they are, to lead us an example. And so what they are is enough for us to follow their leading. And yeah, they don't have to pretend. And I really just appreciate that about them.
I appreciate that they've invested so much of their time in the last 6 years, however many years I was in life class. I know it's not always easy dealing with young adults, people who are trying to develop their own convictions, their mindset. But I appreciate the investment. I appreciate the care and the love that they've invested in us, and all the fun things that we've done together.
I think is how they find a way for all the people that are within the same age range to connect with each other. How they are always encouraging us to go out, make friends, and learn from each other, and always find a way to make learning about God interesting, and always find things that are going to be useful for now and also for the rest of our lives.
I think for me, it's really the work they put into Life Class. I think our group, we're not easy to manage. We have a lot of people with strong personalities too, and we're very loud, and they do their best whenever we have activities or retreats to just put their best and try to make sure we have a good time. And honestly, I'm sure we don't see the effort that gets put into it, but I'm sure they put a lot of work in. Really, we appreciate it.
Their time, really, I know they plan a lot. Like I've been in Life Class since day one with them, and I think it was 7-8 years now. I believe since 2013, and since day one, really. They planned a lot of things with Life Class. Let's start with the friendship dinner, or the Christmas parties, or the Life Class retreats. You name it. There's so many things. Even the Life Class hangout we have every Sunday. They're busy. They work full-time jobs, and just that time giving to us as well is just a huge blessing. Really, because them planning all those, just for us to get together, just time fellowship with the other Life Class really means a lot to me. And just them being available all the time if you need someone to talk to, I appreciate that the most. Because I grew up with I don't have a big sister or a big brother, but like what Natasha said, there's someone that you can look up to as a big sister and a big brother, which I've never had.
For me, the thoughtfulness and effort they put into leading are, as Ariana said, a very diverse group. Since we have people in very, very different ages and demographics, and there's some people who are just entering into young adulthood, and we have a few who spent a few years learning how to adult well, it can be very, very tricky meeting the needs of the group and trying to get that sort of cohesiveness amongst us all. But they put a lot of thought and care and time and effort into making sure that we're all moving together, having that unity as a group, and whether it be with event coordinating, like David said or Ariana said, with learning about God, they're just pulling us together. And I think that unity is such an important piece of our group as a whole, and they're key to that.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that they always make themselves available for us. They're busy, and yet they really sacrifice a lot of time and effort into, not just planning all these activities for us, but, being there for us. Even a simple thing.
Because since we came from the Philippines, we don't really talk that well, especially when speaking English, and we found every time we talk to them, they didn't really bother the way our accent is, and they really, it just feels like we're so welcome. You don't have to be ashamed, just stop, and we're not gonna criticize or anything. That really helped us, especially here in Canada.
The fact that they're young, I guess they're not really young.
Jeremy's almost old. He's very youthful.
He's very youthful, and the energy. But that's the thing. He makes sure that he does that for us, so that we're Life Class, blah blah. Oh, we gotta act like old people. Oh my back. Yeah, he gives off that energy that's infectious, and we like that. That's our group. We're the loud, energetic group, and if we got some old person and then was all about rules, you guys gotta be blah blah blah, wearing a tie Wednesday. But no, he treats us like young adults, not like teenagers, but not fully full grown-ups, but young adults who are in that transition
face.
Like one of like the favorite thing that they've hosted for Life Class event is that Amazing Race. I'm not sure if like you're there, but like that was like one of the highlights for us in Life Class retreat, where it's like an amazing like event. It's like Amazing Race.
People
basically.
were even thinking it was
There was a real
Yeah.
thing.
So like some people in Whistler Village, they thought that like we're like competing like an actual Amazing Race. So yeah, it's kind of like we're not expecting about that, but like yeah, like every events have like small or big impact in us. So yeah, I appreciate for that.
One time, like I think it was Christmas or Valentine's Day, I can't remember. Like there was one time that that they went to my house. I think it was the first time to like me moving, and then yeah, they went to my house and then they gave us this set of tulips. Yeah, I was like, yeah, like, I think it was Valentine's Day because I can remember. Because I can remember that I also have this cookies, like sweet cookies, like that I gave to them. But that was a side note. But yeah, like they gave me like a tulips. It's just like it's like a very simple gesture, but it means a lot to me because they went out of their way. It's very, very cold, like in February, like that time, and yeah, and it was also late at night already. Yeah, but they still made an effort to come, and yeah, I really appreciate that. They're very genuine and generous, and they're very caring.
To me, just the time and effort they spend on each one of us really, makes a big impact, especially to me, because yeah, it's not easy to to do something for everyone, especially for us, if you don't put the effort and time into it. I know they also have their own lives, but even through that, like, they still manage to lead us, to spend time with us.
We know they're busy people, right? But they still like take that time and effort to like organize things for us, and even like especially with us as such a big rambunctious group, it's an organized like chaos, So it's organized, but then things go on. We're actually doing like games or whatever, and it just goes like crazy. But then they're always like kind of like prepared and just roll with it, kind of thing, right? Which is like.
So sorry that we're always rambunctious.
Yeah,
but we really appreciate it.
Yes, definitely. Even when things don't go right. Yeah, we're definitely appreciative of that.
Hi, Brother Jeremy and Miss Hannah. Merry Christmas, coming to you from Florida. And as we enter the new year, it is good to reflect back on how God has been good in the past. And thinking back to my time in Life Class, I'm just so thankful for both of you and the influence that you've had in my life. I'm thankful for the dedication and the time and the work that you've put into the young adults at GVBC. And it really shows your heart of service and your heart of love for the young adults at GVBC really shows. And I pray that you will just continue to serve him, just keep striving to serve him. And just want to say thank you. So Merry Christmas, and looking forward to seeing you both very soon.
Well, I guess our greetings are going to be a little bit for Jeremy and Hannah, and we and their relationship to the Life Class. It's obviously a little bit awkward in the sense that we were the ones that were responsible with talking with them. They expressed their interest and desire to work with this particular age group, and so we've been very, very thankful for really all of these years that they put in. I think 7 or so that they've put into this group, and I appreciate their faithfulness. And many times I know that they have come and spoken with us and shared burdens over young people. We've prayed for those young people, and doing all that they can to try to care for them and minister to them. So we've appreciated those kinds of hours of sacrifice and their willingness to tackle a group that can be a lot of fun, but also can have a lot of issues and things that they're working through. It is an odd thing, and Daniel's asked about our thoughts on this as parents. Well, there's an unusual dynamic because as parents, they're also related to Jeremy and Hannah, and so having to deal with your younger siblings that you've grown up with is always a bit of a challenge. It puts a unique spin on it. But again, we've seen them express the same love and desire and concern for them as for everyone else, and probably a little bit more passionate just because it is family and they've loved them. And so we're very grateful to the Lord for how the Lord has used them. I believe that they've made a real impact in the lives of young adults at a stage that they're in many ways very vulnerable. And I think that Hannah and Jeremy have been able to share with them some life lessons and point them to the eternal truths of the Word of God. So we're glad to be able to have a part of this.